I'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay.
Just let me know. Hi, my name is Ariane, and me and Fancy are here on Saturday morning with Korey Green. So, can you tell us what you currently do for a living?
Hello, my name is Korey Green. I am a filmmaker, writer, director, producer. I've been in the film industry since 2005. My first film that I released was called The Forgotten City, which was a documentary on Buffalo, New York, exploring politics, racism, drugs, unemployment, and it kind of just, took my career to a different level. I just wanted to start just telling real stories, and it kind of catapulted to, me going to Africa afterwards and just doing a bunch of docs, short films, and feature narrative films. So definitely took a different road.
We're gonna circle back to that
Okay.
question. But when did you know you wanted to produce high quality films and videography?
I didn't know until I actually released my first project. I went to Alfred State for creative writing. So I was always a writer. Being a writer was my first passion, whether bios, short novels, and just exploring that part of my mind where I just would really explore different avenues. And I wrote a synopsis for The Forgotten City. And my partner at the time was actually in Los Angeles in acting school, and I gave him a synopsis. And, we had some money saved up, and we just wound up buying the gear. And I was more interested in telling the story, so I didn't, at that point, wasn't really interested in editing or, shooting at the time. We had a DP. But then once the project was actually done, and I seen everything come together, with being, on set every day and constantly looking for new content to shoot, I feel like to make me even a stronger writer or director, editor, I have to know how to do everything to make sure everything that I thought about came out the way it was in my mind visually. So I would say roughly around 2007 once we released Forgotten City.
Now, who would you say was your biggest support on your journey in becoming an independent filmmaker?
My biggest support, I would definitely say my family. Because it was something different, even at the time when I started. Arts and media, especially in Buffalo, it wasn't really a big thing. I don't remember seeing like a lot of productions before we released Forgotten City. I mean, it was things out there, but not to the degree it is now, especially with social media and just the ultimate rise of the internet. See, back then it was a lot more hands-on. So it was definitely my family, but then even the city supported me, because at that time it just wasn't common to just see a camera and a crew just on the streets filming. So the city definitely gave me a lot of support, being that it was something fresh and new.
And how would you say your environment shaped your choice to pursue independent film?
Just turning a negative to a positive. I'm from the east side of Buffalo, and I hate to say it, but just coming from the hood, kind of typical black male, single mother, a lot of friends, went different paths, and I wanted to use all my negatives and turn it to a positive, and that's kind of how I came up with the idea of Forgotten City. And not so much as like exposing, but more so telling a different story. So it's like you see the news and another black male dead, and it's just like, oh, blacks are crazy, killing each other. And I wanted to get a little bit deeper, like, why is this happening? What's going on? And kind of finding like a root to the problem to find real solutions. So just kind of taking my environment around me and using that as just to make a film to kind of show people a different side.
You said you already attended Alfred State.
Yep.
And you didn't consider being a film major or media production major while you were there?
I didn't until I released my first film, and then at that point in time, just taking like small courses. A lot of it was self-taught and just spending countless hours learning how to edit on Final Cut, using the people around me, and I didn't really, didn't expect myself to even be in the films. But then once we released that, it was just my calling. It made me feel like I could really explore my writing talents by learning how to do these things. Bus State at the time had like workshops and, just the people around me was learning and growing. And I worked for a publication called Art Voice. And I just had a lot of people around me. I was just so excited about, ideas that I had and things that I wanted to do. So, yeah.
How did you go about finding those opportunities and being a part of these organizations?
It's really networking. I mean, you can be incredibly smart, you can be incredibly talented, but if you don't have the networking skills and the social skills to like even going to different film festivals and meeting people throughout the country and throughout the world actually, and still keeping those connections. So, if I fly to LA for a buddy that I met in Miami at American Black Film Festival, I'm on his set and learning and helping and doing what I can to help his project progress, and then it's the same thing when it's time for me to shoot. So it's really about networking, and it may sound corny and basic, but you gotta know how to read, you gotta know how to write, and you gotta know how to speak. And obviously those can take those like small qualities can really take you like different places, because for the most part, it probably was people like more talented than me and probably can do more than I can. But I have like a different kind of drive, a different kind of ambition. And it's just being a sponge and soaking up and opportunities with John Singleton or, Morris Chestnut, just like a lot of people, Mackay Pfeiffers, and just really having real conversations opposed to just, being like starstruck and, doing like I was asking like those deeper kind of questions and getting phone numbers and emails and still keeping in contact with those people. So it's really about obviously perfecting your craft and then striking when those opportunities present themselves. There was this one time where I seen T.I. and he was telling me about projects he was looking for and the stuff he wanted to do. We exchanged cards and I didn't give him my movie. I had the Forgotten City on like the DVD and he just like, I want to see your work, and I didn't give him the DVD and I had it in my bag. I couldn't sleep for days. So I couldn't sleep for days, like literally. And he was looking for projects at the time and we had like a 10-minute conversation going back and forth. And I was so into what we were saying, I dropped the ball and didn't give him the DVD. So.
Did you ever find a way to get it to him?
Did I send it? Maybe we sent like a link or I can't really remember. But I was just so messed up that I didn't give him the DVD. But maybe we sent him a link, but it's nothing like that following up with the conversation with giving them product. I mean, just think about how many emails you get a day, resumes, business, junk mail, and then like social media. So you gotta strike when the iron is hot. When you have an opportunity like that, you just really gotta make it work for it.
Now, how did the Blackness Project come to fruition?
I just finished up feature film The Romans, which we're making to a TV series now. We're shooting that starting in January. But I just finished up the feature film The Romans, and my producer, Peter Johnson, he showed me the Whiteness Project. I don't know if you guys heard of the Whiteness Project. So I seen a couple interviews off that, and at that time I didn't really, think too much of it. Just like, okay, this is kind of bold. And then I went back to it, and I really watched like all the interviews and really tried to like dissect it, and not to have a view, because obviously I'm a black male in America, not to look at it like that, but from a filmmaker standpoint. And then, I thought it was really cunning. So I'm like, how can we continue this conversation without it being one-sided? Obviously from their perspective, from the people that I interviewed from the Whiteness Project. And I said, you know what? I'll interview, African Americans about how they feel about the whiteness project. It just really started. It was supposed to be something where I was going to do a couple interviews and just put it online, and it was just going to be like a response to the interviews I had watched. So I had everyone watch it and then interview them, and it just wound up like kind of taking a turn of its own. And people wanted to speak, they wanted to be heard. So I just wound up, making it into a film. I got Ancestry.com involved, and just kind of took it to a different level of not like victimhood or finger pointing, but like just with the Forgotten City, like, all right, these are real like race problems. So in order to get to a solution, it can't be like screaming and yelling or heavily opinionated by the director. So I just like let people speak. It was really like free will, and worked out great. And the formula I wanted was to, every time we show the film, to have like a diverse panel. So the film is used like to get people going, like an engine, just to get like those certain topics where, by the end of the movie, everybody has something to say. So from the panel to the audience, it's like a really interactive experience, and not just like you're going to, watch a film and then it's over. So it was like a whole event.
And how did you feel about the Whiteness Project, and what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was, here we go again kind of thing. Especially when you got like older white guy, he said like the white man is on the bottom of the totem pole and affirmative action. So my initial reaction was like, I can't believe it kind of thing. But as I went back, I thought it was bold, and I thought it was, we can use this as a step in the right direction. So I even reached out to the director, and at one point we even talked about kind of like merging them and doing like a great project with blacks and whites. So I thought, I just think more discussions like that need to happen. So whether it's, any ethnicity or any race, if they can speak in private and tell the truth, and we're able to see that, I think, it's a way for us to tackle certain problems where, another race wouldn't say something if that race was in the room because they wouldn't be comfortable. Whether they don't want to offend anybody or they can't be truthful. So I thought it was a great opportunity to try to bridge the gap on certain topics. So, and then it just really expanded my mind as well. I did an interview for CBS. And, they just asked me like questions, how I feel. It was Liam Neeson at the time. Because remember, he had said something about he hated black men because his sister. So they asked me about that. And I think maybe it thought my reaction would be like, forget Liam Neeson. But with studying the Whiteness Project and then obviously countless hours making the Blackness Project, it really opened my mind where it's like, how I can't be upset at like some kid in Arkansas or not around black people and he's around white people, rather racist white people or his family, town, whatever. If that's all he knows, and then if he turns on the TV, we look like the criminals, we look like the thugs, and this is how we portray it. If he hasn't been around us, what do you expect different? So, it's all about educating yourself, and ignorance is bliss, and if you don't know something, you can't judge it off that.